Welcome back to another edition of BC Renovation Magazine. Alright, so the next project up here on our abandoned mobile home renovation project is I'm going to deal with this section in here, which is back in there we have a laundry area in through that door there, and also, you know, sort of a pantry thing. In here is the kitchen, and in between the kitchen and down this hall here we have the master bedroom. So in between we have this, you know, this utility area here. All right, so we've got, you know, the hot water closet is in here, we've got an electrical panel up here, we've got the furnaces in here, and so we want to clean this all up in here. It's just a mess. I mean, you can see the mess on the floor there. You know, it's just been cut and hacked, and you know, this is all very Mickey Mouse in here. There was no drywall in here. The hot water tank was originally a electric tank, and in a renovation that they did here, they needed the circuit that was for the electric hot water tank. They needed it to run on something else, and so, you know, there was no room on the panel, so they got rid of the electrical hot water tank and went to a gas. And so, you know, we've got no B vent penetration up there that we want to get rid of. You know, and we're going to get a new furnace and air conditioning unit in here. So, you know, before we get all this new equipment in here, we want to get this all cleaned up and tidied up so that, you know, it looks not like that. You know, we want it to look nice and clean and tidy. We also want to have access. Originally this was just a panel that was over the access to the hot water tank, and you had to unscrew it to get in there. The electrical panel had a door on it, and, you know, we're changing things around here. So we've got, now we're going to wire in an outlet here for the heat tape. That's what the orange cord is there. You know, we're also going to have our main water disconnect in here. So, you know, we want to have this accessible so that you just open a door and get in there and not have to unscrew a bunch of panels and things if you want to get in there. So I'm going to change this framing. I want to change this framing in here so that instead of having these two little access panels, I just have like a big, like a bifold door is what I'm thinking, you know, that will just open up and give you access to get into that area there. The furnaces we can't put in a closet. If we go with this type of a furnace, I'm not sure yet what we're going to go with. I have to get my HVAC guy out, but if you go with this is, you know, the air intake is actually on the front of the furnace here, so you can't put a door over that because you block the air intake. You know, we have a thermostat over here on the wall, and when we get our new system in, you know, we're going to get a new thermostat. So we want, you know, we just want to have this all cleaned up so that when the new stuff goes in, it's clean and tidy in there. We're not trying to drywall and tape and paint around the back of it. We just, you know, want to have it all ready to go. In the kitchen, we have this little wing wall that comes out here, and this is where the refrigerator sits. So I'm going to extend this wall out a bit so that we get out a little further, so not so much of the side of the fridge is exposed. And, you know, it's going to make it nicer for our cabinets. And I'm also going to take it up to the top, and we're up to the ceiling there. And I think eventually we're going to put some bulkheads in there, kind of like I did on my last project. But this, you know, this wall here is you know, it's a mess. It's been wallpapered. You know, it's you know, it's been punched through with the cabinets. Yeah, it's just, we're gonna take all that drywall off. We're gonna put new drywall on that, so that, you know, around the whole kitchen area here where the cabinets are, this will all have fresh drywall underneath the new cabinets. Also, I'm gonna try and work in a pocket door here because of, you know, we have no place really to swing the door. We've got a range here, you know, we've got cabinets here, so you can't swing it out. To swing it in, if we swing it in, we're swinging it against the machines. Washer and dryer are going to sit here. If we swing it this way, you know, if I built the counter and shelves, cabinets or whatever in here, so sort of thinking of a little butler pantry kind of an idea in here. So, you know, we don't really want to have the door swinging back against this wall either. So the logical thing to do here is put in a pocket door. So for a pocket door, I need to have a 2x4 wall, and you can see here I only have a 2x3 wall. So I'm going to be taking this whole wall out. This whole end wall is going to come out, and I'm going to reframe it. And I'm going to reframe it for a pocket door. And then this is the back side of the furnace. So the furnace sits on the other side of the wall here. The hot water tank sits on the other side of the wall there. And so I want to, get this all cleaned up, get the plumbing all squared away in that wall. And, just so it's all clean and tidy, again, so once those machines go in there, not the machines, but the furnace and hot water tank, it's done, okay? So we don't have to start messing around with that afterwards. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get to work on that. I'm going to start with some demolition. All right. Alright, so moving along here, I've got the drywall off on this side of this end wall here, and off the inside of this wall as well. Okay, and then in here, I've got the drywall off on this side, so now you can see that 2x2 wall here. This is a skinny little wall, and on the other side of this is the furnace. So I'm going to have to pull the furnace now to get the rest of that drywall out. But, you can just see how Mickey Mouse this framing is here. They actually, where this is the dryer outlet, or the dryer receptacle, and so to vent the dryer, they actually just cut this out and then ran the pipe down into that closet there, out into the floor. And it actually was disconnected. This dryer was just venting right into this room, wasn't even going outside. But yeah, this is pretty typical. You can see just years and years of dirt. So this is all going to get changed. I'm going to be putting in a new box, new valves, new pipes, and we're going to change the drain here. I'm not sure the new furnace is going to have a condensate drain or not. We'll see when the HVAC guy comes. But I got a lot of wires here. So you can see how this works, with the vault. We got the vaulted ceiling up here, which goes to this false beam. That's just the false beam up there. There you can see the last truss right there. And then you can see how in mobile homes, they put the ceilings in under, like on top of the walls. The ceiling goes over top of the walls, even on the outside. When we get to the outside and I start tearing off the siding and stuff out there, you'll see, we'll look at the edge of that drywall just like that out there. And here we have, this is typical, this is a single switch, but when you pull the drywall off, you see this is like a 4x4 box. So they use these boxes as junction boxes. So again, here's another one. It's a big box. Same thing down there where the fridge, that's one outlet there, one circuit, and they put in that big box. So I will probably be, well, I'll see if this one here I might have to keep, with the part of the problem here is with the 2x3 walls, you can't go with the deep box. So if you had a 2x4 wall, you could go with a deep box, and then you have room to get all your wires in. So instead of a deep regular box, they go with these shallow boxes, but then they go big like this, and then they hide this part underneath the drywall. So I'm going to have to unhook all of that, and when I tear this wall apart, I've got to be able to pull that top plate off. So then as I pull that top plate off, then the wires will come down, and then when I rebuild, I'll have to drill and then pull the wires back and then rewire this. But this will all be going back exactly, in the same place as it is right now. This is an old thermostat wire here. This is the old original thermostat wire. So they actually had it running up, and it came out, and the old thermostat was, original thermostat was at this location over here. Okay, and this is just a little 2-wire, this was back in the old days, nobody put air conditioning in. Just a little 2-wire. This wire here, this one here, this is a more modern wire, and this has actually got 5 wires in it, so you need this 5-wire to run the air conditioner. So that will be going back in this new wall. It's going to get framed here. But yeah, it's a little progress thing here. You can see how we're coming together. And so I think my next step now is to get the furnace out. Alright, so I've got the old furnace pulled out. And what's left behind here is the coil for the air conditioning. And so this is a downdraft system, so the air pushes down through this and then into the plenum and distributes throughout the mobile home. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It's just like a thing like an A, and so your refrigerant goes through this thing. It's like a radiator, and it that's how it cools the air in your home. and then it's attached by a line set outside to the condenser unit outside. But this is what it looked like when I pulled the furnace out of there. All this loose vinyl stuff, you know, off the old gypsum panels there. It's just kind of hanging in there. That's kind of scary. And then this is the old vent. So I've gone up on top and I've pulled the cap off. Here's the cap over here, sitting here upside down on the floor. So I have a guy that's going to take the furnace. You know, it's an old furnace, but you know, the thing with these old furnaces is these old Colemans, or whatever this is, Intertherm, you know, they don't have a roll burners. They just have, it's like a jet burner in it. And so it's got a big, you know, it's very solid metal. It's all very like heavy gauge steel, the whole heat exchanger unit. It's not a row of burners like in a conventional kind of a furnace. So, you know, in spite of it being so old, it could still be used like in a barn or in a, you know, workshop or something like that. So I'm giving it to a guy. He's going to take it and put it in his workshop. So now I can get the coil out, pull that out. That's going to go to recycling, get recycled, and likewise with the rest of the vent up there. Okay, and then I can take all that drywall out and then start on my you know, new work framing. All right, and there's the coil unit out right there. And so now I'm down to the plenum. So this is the plenum, goes down through the floor. We have this metal box here that the furnace sits on top, and then down here is the duct that goes each way to the front and back of the home, and that's the air is pushed down into here, and then it goes either way. So the new furnace is just going to sit right on top of this. Okay, so I've this is where the old chimney came up there, the vent. You call it a vent. If it's a chimney, it's wood burning. This is a gas appliance, so we call it a vent. But this is where it came up through this box thing here. And over here we've got the old roof jack for the gas hot water tank, and so that's going to go away. I'm not sure about the vent. The new furnace may or may not have a vent, but I don't want to have this up, so you know, I'm here when I'm doing my roof. As part of getting ready for the new roof, you know, I want to get rid of all this crap that we don't need. So, you know, this thing is going to be going, whatever ends up. We're not going to have this little box thing here anymore. We're going to have you know, a sloped thing that's going to match the slope of the roof, and it's all going to be brand new. So part of the reason why I'm getting ready for the HVAC is so that when I get up here on the roof, you know, hopefully my timing will be that, you know, when I get to this point where I'm going to be, you know, working around the new vent, I'll have, you know, the vent will be here, so then I can put the new flashings and everything in there, and it'll be done. So, you know, I don't want to do that after the roof is installed. It's kind of part of the process. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. I've just pulled the chimney out of there and just screwed that piece of pipe up there to keep the birds out and, you know, any heavy rain. But yeah, this is all going to be coming out of here, and we'll clean it all up, and we'll be putting shingles on here instead of the metal roof. And here's the old furnace all ready to go to its new home. Like I say, we're going to recycle this. I'm giving it to a guy who's going to put it in his workshop, give him a little bit of heat in the winter time. So we've got the furnace here, we got a thermostat and some wire for him, and then we've got the vents. So this is the piece here that I just pulled out. I just show you up on the roof where I covered up the hole. This is what it was in there, and then this piece here was upside down, and so this small pipe is actually the vent, this 4-inch pipe. And it's the reason it's so big and has this space around is because these furnaces, they exhaust through the small pipe, and they draw air back in. There's an intake that draws air in and into the furnace around here. And so if you look at the top of the furnace up here, you can see this is actually where the gas vent goes, and then cold air is drawn back in around this bigger area, and that's the air intake for the furnace. So it's basically it's a closed system, and that's part of how it makes even these old furnaces like this that are this old were kind of efficient that way. They didn't take room air to for combustion. They would take it from outside and then recirculate it. So yeah, and the air coming in would, you know, travel along this hot pipe, and actually this pipe, the hot exhaust gases going out, would heat the air coming back in. So yeah, it's actually they're pretty good furnaces. Like, they're very solid. And so over here, show you what we got. So that's what it's looking like here from the bottom. Okay, I put it's dark up in there because I put the lid on up there. But this is the chaseway that's there. There's no insulation. They want to keep the insulation away. But, you know, we've got this big hole here. And so I'm going to, you know, I'm going to be putting a piece of drywall in there to cover that all up, so we have a fresh start to fresh place to start with whatever we're going to have going up there as far as venting for the new furnace. And then this, you can see here, similarly, that's not original. That's when they put the gas hot water tank in here at some point in a renovation. They cut that hole there to go up through the roof, and that's that other roof jack that I show you up there. So as part of getting this area all cleaned up, I want to get this all patched in and, you know, painted and taped, and so it's all nice and clean in here, and we don't have these big holes going up into the attic. All right, so I'm just going to carry on here. This is how I've left the furnace here now. The gas pipe has come back up. It's ready for the guys when they come back in to install the new furnace. And I've just put a cover over that plenum there to keep the dirt out of it. All right, I'm gonna keep tearing apart here. Okay, so just before I tear this apart, I'm going to show you what I've got going on here. And I got a lot going on here. So I'm going to be reframing this area here, and I want to make sure that I have enough room in there, as much room as I can for the furnace. I have to have a wall between the furnace and the hot water closet. I have to leave room between this pipe. This pipe is the electrical pipe that goes into it's a piece of conduit that goes from the panel. That's the main run into the panel, and so that's immovable, and so I have to leave room between here and this wall in order to get the hot water tank at some point in time. You know, you have to change them, so I have to leave room for that to get out of there. I want to work in a closet door here, and it's going to be a 30-inch door, so that's going to go from here to here, and so that closet door is going to cover the panel, and it's going to cover this access, so you got to make that all fit in here. Then around here I'm going to install a pocket door, and so I need to have the pocket door big enough that I can get washer and dryer in here. So it's going to be a 30-inch door, so, you know, I need as much space in this area here as I can for the pocket door from basically from here to here, because once I get to this point, then I'm into my kitchen cabinets. Okay, so I'm getting squeezed by my kitchen cabinets. So I'm going to have a cabinet here, and I've got a fridge here. All right, and I'm going to have a wall coming out here. So I got to be able to make sure that I can get my cabinet and my fridge in there. It's going to be a 30-inch fridge. So I got to keep that in mind while I'm doing this. I've got electrical there. I've got electrical here. This is for the furnace. That's electrical for the fridge. This is counter electrical. We got two circuits coming in here, two separate circuits. It's a split plug. Got a switch here for the light in this laundry area. Okay, I've got a dryer outlet here, a receptacle. Okay, I've got a washer outlet there. I've got the standpipe here for the washer drain, and that's all in the very compact in this area here. And I also want to keep enough room depth-wise so that I've got room around my new furnace to make sure that I can get my new furnace in there. I want to leave my options open, and I also have to keep enough depth in here so that my hot water tank is going to fit in there. So my hot water tank, this is it here, it's 22 inches in diameter, and I want to put it in a pan. So it's going to sit in a pan to avoid all this damage that you see here because of leaky hot water tanks. We're going to take care of that. We're going to put a new piece of flooring in here, wood, you know, to fix all these holes. But so I need to be able to fit a pan in there. I also want to get room in here for the plumbing, for the that new washer box. So, and I want to have the inside of this all drywalled out, not rough the way it was. So yeah, I got all this going on here, and I have to figure it all out as I go and make sure that, you know, when everything's going to fit when I get there. So it's a bit of a puzzle. And another thing I got going on is this little hallway. So I want to maintain a 3-foot width hallway. So, you know, I don't want to bring this wall out. I've got my 3 foot there now. And you can see this door going into this room at the back here is offset. And so I'm going to be changing this door so that it's centered in the hallway instead of off to the side. You can see we got more space on this side than this side. And so, you know, that looks... it looks bad. It doesn't look great, and it also creates a problem that, you know, we go to put trim on this door. It's like it's jammed right up into the wall, and this way, you know, we get the door centered. You know, the trim will be the same on both sides. We'll have the same amount of wall. It's going to look the way it's supposed to look. So I'm still going to have to deal with this. I'm not going to deal with this right now, but I want to get these switches over to here. And so that's another little electrical thing that I have to do. Again, you can see how this is jammed in here. How, you know, like the plate actually went into the wall there. So, you know, the cover plate. And so this needs to get, you know, moved over so that it's away from the wall and we can have a proper corner there and get, you know, get it out of that corner. So, you know, little crazy things that you come across in most homes. You know, they're not intended to have, you know, nice wide trim like we like to put in a house. You know, they just put that little skinny, well, it's good stuff. This is what they use for trim around the door. Usually it's just, you know, a variation of this little stuff here. You know, we're going to put on a proper trim. All right, folks, stay tuned. Alright folks, so I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all the demolition part done, and I got a little bit started here. So I've got my bottom plates laid out for the sort of the new design. Not really the new design, but just making some changes, you know, to clean this all up here, because you know, it was such a mess the way it was laid out. It's going to be nice and you know, nice and clean and tidy. And so just kind of got things laid out here. And so I've got my pile of lumber over there to build the new walls, and I got some drywall over there to put some drywall up. So I've got a pocket door frame here. So this is the pocket door frame. That's going to be going in here. I've got a washer box, outlet box that's going to be installed. I've got some new dryer pipe over there. Got a bunch of electrical to do. So I got my new hot water tank pan, the drip pan. So yeah, next video I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this all back together. And if you're interested in seeing that, it'll be in the next one. So thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.